It's AuKeeRa Rayne once again. So, when is enough enough? Have you looked at the way we live our lives these days? And we get out of school and right away go into debt. Why? Because we believe that right after we're done our high school education, we should further our education. Unfortunately, at this time, it costs money. We're not taught to go to work first. We're taught to spend money right away. As soon as we're done getting our education, we're then taught, buy a house, get a car, further taking us into debt. So I ask, when is enough enough? When we get out of school, not one of us have been taught to work for a further goal of actually paying for education. No. We've been taught right away to go further and further in debt. This is further compounded by the ability to get a credit card these days. When I was younger, it was pretty well impossible for us to get a credit card. You actually had to have really good credit in order to get a credit card. Nowadays, credit card companies prey on all of us, trying to drive us further and further in debt. We're in a society right now that for some reason wants us in debt. Doesn't want us to have freedom. Wants us to have to work instead of work because we want to work. Most of us feel overwhelmed by our lives right now. So I ask again, when is enough enough? For one moment, stop and think for a minute. What would you do? What would you own? If you worked because you wanted to, not because you had to. It's a concept most of us never even ponder. And yet I pose it to you. Yes, I love Gail Vaz Oxlade. She is incredible. And she knows way more about about financing than I will ever know. She is over the top. Till Death Do Us Part is a phenomenal show all of us need to watch, as well as Princess, her new one. Because it seems we just don't have a handle on this right now. Do you have savings? Are you of the belief that owning a house makes you successful? How do you define success? Now, I've thought about it a lot, trust me. I've often wondered why, in order to be successful, we have to own nothing. I really don't understand. I don't understand why renting is such a horrible thing, when maybe you don't have the down payment, or you won't be able to afford the house you buy, but you can afford the rent. Buying means that you're slapped with all the expenses if something goes wrong. Renting doesn't. And when you die, you can't take the house with you. So did you really hit success by buying that house? It makes me really wonder these days. All of our houses, by the time we've paid our mortgage, we won't make any money on them. So was it really an investment? It just baffles me. Some say, well, it is an investment because then you can sell the house. This is true. But why not then just save that money? Why not save the extra money? Why spend it at all? Why stress yourself when you could save the extra money? Yes, it's true, a lot of us don't save it, and that's why we do things like this. But if we live from a different perspective, a totally different perspective of working to not be in debt at all, working to get out of debt and stay out of debt, would that really change our lives? Because I think it would. But that takes us redefining success. It takes us saying that I don't need the big screen TV. It takes us saying that I don't need the up-to-date everything. It takes us saying I can take the time to give myself time to save up for the things that I want, while being able to purchase the things that I need and still have a savings on the side. I know this seems mind-boggling to so many of us, but it would really work. But again, when is enough enough? And what do I mean by that? I often thought in my career, I'd like to go far. I'd like to be on TV. I'd like to travel and lecture. I love my job. And just the other day, I started wondering. I started watching other people. Sure, there's been a lot of psychics, clairvoyant mediums that have made it really big. And their lives are turned upside down. There's been a lot of people who make it to the top only to find out they've lost everything that really mattered in their lives. So I asked my partner and I said, would you be okay if I stayed right where I am? Is this enough for you? Because honey, it's enough for me. I want to be able to have time with my family. I want to be able to have time for me. I may never be a huge success. Is that okay with you? Because it's enough for me. And he smiled and said, well, of course, whatever you want. We may know how good we are. Do we really need to show to the rest of the world how good we are? Do we need to prove it to the rest of the world how good we are with the things we own, the car we drive, the title we hold? Or would it be enough to work the amount of hours you want to, not have to, want to, so that you can keep yourself in the life that makes you comfortable? No, you may not own anything. You may not have to. Once you're out of debt, think about it. And while you're thinking about it, are all the things you own worth it? Did everything you buy get you to where you want to be? Did all your education pay off? Unfortunately, mine didn't. The universe had different plans for me. I would have never earned back for a long time what my education cost. Remember, I used to be a Tedesco esthetician, one of the top qualified in most of Canada, and then I used to teach it. But this world, life goes on with a lot of other twists and turns. It's time for us to re-examine our definition of success. It's time for you to re-examine your definition of success. For only you know when enough is enough. When are you enough? And this applies to everything in life. When am I skinny enough? When do I have enough clothes? When do I have enough shoes? Men, when do you have enough toys? This applies to everything. Sit down and ask yourself and do some journaling. Ask yourself, if I could do anything, what would I do? And then look at your life right now. No, don't run out and change everything. Always start with an exercise of mindset, an exercise of thinking and journaling. Remember, all your beliefs start in the way that you think, not what you do. So take the time and give yourself the time to think. What would I change if I could change anything? At what age do I want to work because I want to, not because I have to? And then make a plan. Yes, when we have children, it makes it a little different. But also having children should be pondered, not just had. How many do you want, and what type of life do you want to provide for them? We have the freedom now to have children and not to have children. It's pretty well the first time ever women have not been expected to have kids. It's a big deal. So make sure in your life you're doing what you want to do to define your own success. Most of us never ask ourselves what we even want. You know what? You're the only one who knows. Ask yourself. You'd be surprised how much you know. Right at the top of your page. In handwriting with a pen, yes, not on a computer. When is enough enough? Look in the mirror and say to yourself, I am enough. I have enough. And then the next time you want to leaps and bounds and tell yourself, I need more, ask yourself why. Not to stop it. Just to be aware of where you're at, how you're feeling, and make sure you're always in your corner. We are enough the way we stand. We don't need all of this stuff around us. Yes, we have a right to have some of it. But if it's causing you pain and stress, then it's not serving your life. If you have to work until you're 80 because you have to, not because you want to, it's not serving you either. The goal is to get to a life where you're living because you want to. You're not in a box with the lid closed, feeling trapped. You can always see the light at the end of your tunnel. And you are responsible for that. This is your life. Yes, find other people who have the answers if you can't find them yourself. Education takes away fear. So educate yourself on debt. Educate yourself on the products you want to buy. Save up for what you want. And by the way, if you think it's worth spending money on, and you can save up the money, then again, that's your call. Trust yourself. And know you are enough. If you need any other information on me, or ever want to book an appointment, please email me at AuKeeRa@sasktel.net. All of the information plus all free downloads are at www.aukeera.com. I would love to hear from you. Until next video or blog, have a wonderful day.